They say Christmas is a season of love, laughter, and sharing. But nobody really tells you this part. Not every plate offered with a smile is safe. And not every "you are welcome" comes from a clean heart. Jane learnt that lesson the hard way. Jane was what people like to call a Gen Z success story. She lived in the city, worked in tech, and earned enough to live comfortably. Not extravagantly, but comfortably. She paid her rent on time, serviced her car, saved, invested, and still had enough left to enjoy soft life in moderation. She wasn't loud about her success, but it showed. Her father had died years earlier, leaving just Jane and her mother, Mercy. Jane was their only child. When she gained admission to university in the city, everyone thought she would return to the village after graduation. She never did. After school, Jane stayed back. She learnt a tech skill, struggled for a while, failed interviews, cried in silence, tried again, and eventually made it. Lagos became her home. Over the years, she begged her mother Mercy countless times. "Mama, please come and stay with me. The house is big enough." Mercy would always laugh and shake her head. "My daughter, who will take care of my farm? Who will feed my goats and chickens? This city life is not for me. I would die of loneliness." Jane learned to stop arguing. Instead, she made it a tradition to travel home every Christmas. And this year was no different. She drove into the village in her car, with her driver behind the wheel. The road was bad, dusty, and familiar. As the car approached, children ran alongside it shouting her name. "Jane has come, oh! Jane, our sister! Take Madam is back!" Her mother rushed out of the house, wrapper tied tight, eyes shining. "My daughter!" Jane hugged her tightly. That hug alone made every long drive worth it. The next few days felt like a movie. Jane shared gifts, bags of rice, cartons of noodles, money envelopes. Widows came to greet her, some kneeling, some crying. Young girls stared at her with admiration. Old women prayed long prayers. "God will bless you the way you bless us. Your children will never beg. You will not eat bad food and fall sick." Jane laughed nervously and waved it off. "Mama, tell them to stop praying like this." The village sang her praises, but not everyone was singing from their heart. Among the women dancing and clapping was Agnes, Jane's friend's mother. She danced the hardest, she shouted the loudest, she smiled wide. But inside her chest, something bitter was growing. As she danced, her eyes kept drifting to Jane. She remembered how her own daughter Monica went to the same school as Jane, same class, same graduation year. Yet Monica now worked as a sales girl in a mall. She couldn't even afford transport fare to come home for Christmas. Agnes remembered how Jane's mother Mercy was always the first to buy new wrapper in women meetings, first to pay dues, always smiling calmly. Meanwhile, she, Agnes, was borrowing money to survive. The music continued. Agnes danced, but her heart burned. Later that evening, Agnes walked up to Jane, clapping softly. "My daughter," she said sweetly, "you have done well, very well." Jane smiled politely. "Thank you, Ma." "How is Monica? I didn't see her today." Agnes sighed dramatically. Transport money. Life is hard." Jane's face changed immediately. "Oh, I'll call her. I'll send her something so she can come tomorrow. She shouldn't miss the festivities." Agnes forced a grateful smile. "God bless you, my daughter." Then she added casually, "Please come and eat at my house tomorrow. I will prepare a very delicious meal for you, my daughter. You deserve it." Jane blinked. "Tomorrow?" "Yes," Agnes nodded eagerly, as a token of appreciation. "Just small food, Christmas food." Jane smiled. "No problem, Ma." She didn't notice the way Agnes's eyes darkened for a split second. She didn't see the smile fade too quickly. She didn't know that as Agnes walked away, her hands trembled, not with gratitude, but with intention. And that was how it started. The next evening, as the sun dipped low, Jane stood up from where she was sitting and reached for her car keys. "Mama, I'm going to Madam Agnes's house," she said casually. "She invited me for food." Her mother slowly dropped the knife she was using to peel yam and looked up at her daughter. "Sit down first," Mercy said firmly. Jane laughed. Mama is not that serious." But her mother was already shaking her head. "My daughter, don't be too relaxed with people in this village," she warned. "Not everybody that smiles with you is happy for you." Jane sighed and sat. "If someone offers you food, tell them to package it for you, or say you are rushing somewhere, Or at least pray before you eat in anyone's house. Jane rolled her eyes gently. Mama, you worry too much. It's just food. What can food do? Her mother stared at her, unconvinced. This village is not like the city. People smile with mouth and bite with heart. Jane hugged her quickly. Nothing will happen. It's just Madame Agnes, Monica's mother. Mercy sighed deeply. God go with you. Jane left. Madame Agnes's compound was unusually lively. As Jane walked in, Agnes rushed towards her like she'd been waiting all day. My daughter, you came, she exclaimed, clapping her hands. Jane smiled. Of course, ma. Agnes held her shoulders warmly. You are even more beautiful today. Jane laughed awkwardly. Oh, and Monica is almost here, she added quickly. Their driver drove very fast. Jane nodded. That's good. Agnes led her inside, talking non-stop. She told stories, long ones. Stories about her great-grandfather who fought wars. Stories about their family lineage. Stories about how their people were once very wealthy before life happened. She brought out old pictures, faded photographs. This is my father, she said proudly. This is my grandmother. This is when our family used to own land everywhere. Jane listened politely, nodding, smiling, feeling relaxed. Too relaxed. Agnes made her feel welcome. Too welcome. Then she disappeared briefly and returned with a large plate of rice, steaming hot, still red, with a whole chicken leg sitting proudly on top. Eat, my daughter, Agnes said softly, placing it in front of her. This is my own little way of saying thank you for all you do for your mother and this community. Jane's heart softened. Thank you so much, ma, she said sincerely. She didn't remember her mother's words. She didn't pray. She picked up her spoon and began to eat. The rice was delicious, rich, flavorful. After a few spoons, the gate opened. Monica, Jane smiled. Monica rushed in, looking tired, dusty, and hungry. Ah, Jane, you are here. I'm so hungry. Let me join you. Before Jane could respond, Agnes snapped. Are you mad? She barked. Is that how I trained you? How can you inconvenience a visitor? Jane looked up confused. There is enough food in the pot. Go inside, freshen up. I will bring your own food. She turned to Jane with a sweet smile. Sorry, my daughter. Children of nowadays. Monica looked embarrassed, but obeyed. Jane barely noticed. She was already deep into the meal. When Agnes returned, she sat on the couch, watching Jane eat, smiling, listening, waiting. Monica soon returned with her own plate, and they ate together. Jane talked excitedly. She told Monica about her job, about foreign clients, about invitations abroad, about how life was finally opening up for her. Monica listened in awe. Agnes sat quietly on the couch, nodding, smiling, but inside her mind she laughed, because she knew what she had done, and Jane had no idea that with every spoon she lifted, something dark was already at work inside her. After the celebrations finally died down, Jane packed her bags and returned to the city. She didn't even wait for road stress. She booked a flight back to Lagos while her driver volunteered to bring the car later. The village waved her off with songs and prayers, and Jane smiled, grateful, relieved, and unaware that she was carrying more than souvenirs back with her. Back in the city, life resumed. Work calls, meetings, deadlines, soft life. Jane fell right back into her routine like she never left. The village, Madame Agnes, the rice, the stew, everything slowly faded into background memory. 1 week passed. Then came Friday night. Jane had just wrapped up a stressful work week, and her friends convinced her to step out. Babe, you've been too serious lately, Amma said, tossing her a dress. Let's blow off steam. Amma was Jane's best friend and housemate, sharp-tongued, fun-loving, and always watching Jane's back. They went clubbing, music loud, lights flashing, drinks flowing. Jane laughed harder than she had in weeks. Halfway through the night, she felt it, a small cramp, low in her stomach. She frowned briefly, placed a hand over her belly, then shrugged it off. Probably food, she muttered. She ordered another drink. The pain returned, slightly sharper this time. Jane ignored it. After all, she had eaten plenty of things in her life and survived worse. She wasn't about to let a small discomfort ruin her night. By the time they got home in the early hours of the morning, Jane's smile had faded. Her steps were slower. Her skin felt unusually warm. You good? Amma asked, eyeing her. I'm fine, Jane replied quickly. Just tired. They changed into pajamas. Jane headed into the bathroom for her usual skincare routine. Cleanser, toner, serum, normal things. She leaned closer to the mirror. And then pain exploded inside her. Not a cramp, not discomfort. A sharp, tearing pain, like something twisting violently inside her. Jane screamed, a raw, terrified scream that echoed through the apartment. Jane! Amma burst into the bathroom to find Jane bent over, clutching her stomach, tears streaming down her face. Something is wrong, Jane gasped. Amma, I can't breathe. Amma didn't hesitate. She grabbed her keys and rushed her to the nearest hospital. Jane was shaking by the time they arrived, sweating, pale, barely able to speak. The nurses moved fast, vitals checked, blood drawn, scans ordered. Amma paced the hallway, heart pounding. After what felt like hours, the doctor finally came out. Well, he said calmly, flipping through papers, we've run all the tests. Everything looks normal. Amma blinked. Normal? Yes, no infection, no blockage, no visible abnormalities. But she's in so much pain. The doctor frowned slightly. Sometimes stress manifests physically. She should rest, hydrate, and reduce alcohol intake. They discharged her with painkillers. Back home, Amma hovered like a worried mother. Let me call your mom, she said softly. She needs to know. Jane shook her head immediately. No, she said firmly. Please. Amma hesitated. Jane, my mom is hypertensive. If she hears this, she'll panic. I'll be fine. Amma wasn't convinced, but she respected Jane's wish. That night, Jane barely slept. Every time she closed her eyes, pain pulled her back awake. Her skin burned, then went cold. At exactly 2:17 a.m., Mercy woke up in the village. She sat upright in bed, gasping. Her heart was racing. She had just had a dream. In the dream, Jane was walking down a long, lonely path. No houses, no trees, just darkness stretching endlessly ahead. Jane! Mercy called out in the dream. Jane didn't answer. She didn't turn back. She kept walking. Further and further, Mercy reached out and woke up screaming, My daughter! Her chest felt tight. Her hands trembled. She reached for her phone immediately and dialed Jane's number. No answer. She tried again. Still nothing. Mercy stared at the phone, fear crawling up her spine. God forbid, she whispered. She sat on the edge of her bed, confused, shaking. Why did the dream feel so real? Why did it feel like a warning? Jane finally returned her mother's call the next morning. Hello, Mama. Mercy's voice broke immediately. Jane, are you sure you are well? Jane forced a small laugh. I'm fine, Mama. I just slept early yesterday. There was a long pause on the other end. Jane, her mother said slowly, I saw you in my dream. Mama, please don't start. I saw you walking on a long road, a lonely road. I was calling you, shouting your name, but you did not turn back. You did not answer me. Jane swallowed hard, but kept her voice calm. Mama, dreams are dreams. I'm fine. Are you eating well? Yes. Are you strong? Yes. Is anything wrong with your body? No. Jane ended the call shortly after. She didn't want to worry her mother. Mercy had high blood pressure. Stress could kill her faster than anything else. Jane didn't know that silence can be just as dangerous. That same evening, the pain returned again. Jane bent over, gripping the kitchen counter as sweat poured down her face. Ah! She cried out. Amma rushed in immediately. Jane, what's wrong? Jane couldn't answer. Her face was pale, lips trembling. She sank to the floor, clutching her stomach. Amma didn't waste time. She grabbed her bag, her car keys, and helped Jane into the car. At the hospital, doctors rushed Jane in. Blood tests, scans, x-rays, ultrasound. Everything came back normal. There is nothing medically wrong with her, one doctor said, frowning at the results. But she's in pain, Amma snapped. She's screaming in pain. The doctor sighed. We'll give her pain relief. Painkillers, antibiotics, drips. Nothing worked. Jane screamed through the night. Her stomach swelled unnaturally. It looked like someone had pumped air into her body. Jane was transferred. One hospital, then another, then another. Private clinics, specialist centers, emergency rooms. Everywhere the same answer. We can't find anything. Jane's bank account began to bleed. Hospital bills, drugs, scans, tests. She drank painkillers like water. Antibiotics became routine. Her body grew weaker. She stopped working. Then she couldn't sit. She couldn't stand. She couldn't even focus. Clients started calling. Jane, we haven't heard from you. Jane, this project is delayed. Deadlines passed. Meetings missed. Contracts lost. Her email notifications slowed, then stopped. Amma took over everything.
She paid bills, she cooked, she cleaned, she slept on the hospital chair. She stayed awake at night holding Jane's hand as Jane cried. Please, Jane whispered one night, tears rolling down her temples. I don't want to die. Amma swallowed hard. You won't, I promise. But fear lived in her eyes. Mercy called again. This time, Jane picked. Mama, I'm fine, Jane said quickly. Mercy's voice trembled. Jane, I saw the dream again. Jane closed her eyes. The same road, Mercy said. The same silence. This time, you were weaker. Mama, please, don't stress yourself. Jane, are you hiding something from me? Jane lied. No. They hung up. That night, Mercy had the dream again. Exactly the same. This time, Mercy woke up screaming. Sweat soaked her wrapper. Her chest felt tight. Her heart raced. She knelt by her bed immediately. My God, she cried. Please don't let anything happen to my daughter. She prayed all night. Unknown to her, that same afternoon, Jane collapsed. It happened suddenly. She convulsed once, then went still. Amma screamed, Jane! Jane! She shook her, no response. Her breathing was shallow, weak. Amma didn't think. She wrapped Jane in a blanket and rushed her out. Village, she told the driver, go straight. In her panic, she left Jane's phone behind. Hours later, as the car sped through the dark roads toward the village, Jane lay unconscious in the back seat. Mercy stood up suddenly, her heart pounding violently. She didn't wear slippers. She didn't lock the door. She ran out barefoot. She didn't stop. She ran straight to the church. Halfway there, her vision blurred. Her knees almost gave out. She slowed down, pressing her hand to her chest, whispering prayers under her breath. God, please, not my daughter, not my Jane. That was when she bumped into him. A man, carrying a Bible, standing by the roadside, speaking softly to two women. He looked ordinary, simple clothes, worn sandals, calm eyes. But the moment Mercy collided with him, he grabbed her arm firmly. Madam, stop! Mercy tried to pull away. Please, I'm in a hurry. The man shook his head slowly. You are about to lose your daughter. The words hit her like thunder. Mercy froze. What? Mercy whispered. The man looked straight into her eyes. You've been dreaming. The same dream. Your daughter walking away, not looking back. Mercy's legs weakened. How do you know this? The man continued calmly. She ate from a wrong place, and something followed her home. If you waste time here, you will bury your only child. Mercy screamed. No, God forbid. The man tightened his grip on her arm. Listen to me carefully. We will go back to your house now. Begin prayers, praise and worship. Your daughter is already on her way home. Run! Then he added, firmly, I am coming with you. Mercy didn't wait to hear another word. She turned and ran back the way she came, the man following closely behind her. She burst into her compound, flung the door open, and fell to her knees in the sitting room. God, I don't have any other child. Please. The man closed his eyes briefly, then said, stand up. We will not cry. We will fight. She clapped her hands. She sang with a cracked voice. She prayed. She shouted. She cried. They called on every name of God they knew. Less than 30 minutes later, a car screeched to a stop outside. Mercy's heart nearly jumped out of her chest. Mama! Mama! Open the door! Amma's voice shouted from outside. Mercy rushed forward, unlocked the door, and gasped. Jane was slumped in the back seat. Her eyes were rolled back, white showing. Her skin was pale, almost grey. Her lips were dry and cracked. Her stomach looked unnaturally swollen. She looked like someone already halfway gone. Mercy screamed. They carried Jane into the house and laid her on the floor. Amma was shaking, crying uncontrollably. She collapsed, Amma sobbed. Doctor said nothing was wrong. Nothing was wrong. The pastor led the prayers with fire, shouting at the top of his lungs. Whatever followed her from that house, back to sender. Whatever was planted in her body, back to sender. Any evil food, any evil covenant, back to sender. They prayed. They prayed like people who had nothing else to lose. Mercy pused her hand on Jane's stomach and joined him, speaking in tongues. Amma joined them too, tears streaming. Hours passed. Jane didn't move. At some point, Mercy remembered something. She rushed to her room, brought out a small bottle of olive oil she kept for prayer, and poured a liquor into Jane's mouth. In the name of Jesus, the man declared, anything planted in you, come out! Suddenly, Jane's body stiffened, her back arched, her mouth opened, and then a loud, terrifying scream ripped through the house. The pastor shouted even louder, back to sender, back to sender, back to sender. The scream didn't come from inside Mercy's house. It came from 2 houses away. A long, sharp scream that sliced through the morning air like a blade. People rushed out of their homes, eyes wide with fear. Then they saw her. Agnes. She burst into Mercy's compound, clutching her stomach, screaming at the top of her lungs. I will confess! I will confess! I will confess everything! Her face was twisted in pain. Sweat poured down her body. Her eyes looked wild, unfocused, as if something inside her was tearing her apart. Villagers gathered immediately. Whispers flew. Is that not Agnes? What is wrong with her? Why is she shouting like this? She collapsed on the ground, rolling, crying, screaming. Inside the house, the pastor immediately shut the door. No one enters, he said firmly. Jane lay weak on the mat, breathing shallowly. Her skin was no longer grey, but she was far from okay. The pastor increased his prayers. He prayed louder, harder. Anything trying to escape through distraction, go back and finish your work of exposure. Outside, Agnes began to speak. Amma, shaking but alert, quickly brought out her phone and started recording. Agnes bet her chest. I envied Mercy. I hated her peace. I hated her smile. The crowd gasped. My daughter and her daughter went to the same school, same class, same year, but look at her life. Look at my life. She clawed at her stomach. I sent my daughter money while Mercy was enjoying her daughter's wealth. I danced with my mouth, but my heart was burning. People murmured in shock. Agnes screamed again. When Jane came home, I could not sleep. I watched her give gifts, money, rice. I watched people praise Mercy. So I decided to wipe that smile away. A woman screamed from the crowd. Jesus! Agnes cried uncontrollably. I prepared the food. I put it inside. I knew what I was doing. Gasps exploded through the crowd. Someone shouted, Ah! Agnes continued. I stopped my own daughter from touching the food because I knew. She was never supposed to eat it. Inside the house, the pastor placed his hand on Jane's head and prayed harder. Father, seal what you have started. Outside, Agnes screamed. I followed her spirit to the city. I followed her, but I didn't know she had covering. She screamed again, louder than before. People stepped back in fear. She cried. I am sorry. I didn't know it would go this far. Amma kept recording, tears streaming down her face. Agnes lifted her face to the sky. Mercy, forgive me. Jane, forgive me. She collapsed completely. At that exact moment, inside the house, Jane's breathing suddenly became steady. The pain in her stomach eased. Mama, she whispered. Mercy burst into tears. The pastor exhaled slowly. It is done. Jane remained weak, but the violent pain never returned. It took 2 full weeks for her body to regain strength. During that time, the entire village was quiet. Agnes never stood up again. Her stomach became swollen. Monica returned from the city immediately when she heard what happened. When she saw her mother lying helpless, she broke down. I warned you, she cried. I begged you to stop comparing. But Agnes could only moan. Monica hated what her mother had done, but she was still her mother. She quit her job. She stayed back in the village. She farmed for people. She washed clothes. She cooked for others just to buy drugs, just to eat. Meanwhile, the confession videos spread. Amma posted it. Jane shared her story too. People who once praised Agnes stopped greeting her. Friends avoided Monica. No one wanted to associate with that family again. The shame was heavy. After Jane recovered, she returned to the city. She resumed work slowly. Her strength returned. Her clients returned. Her life continued. Out of gratitude, she donated a huge sum to the pastor's church, not as payment, but as thanksgiving. Agnes suffered for 2.5 years. Her stomach never reduced. Her body grew weak. Her voice faded. One morning, she died. Quietly, shamefully, no honor. According to village tradition, she was taken to the evil forest, the place reserved for those who committed grave atrocities. Monica stood from a distance and cried. After the burial, Monica left the village. She returned to the city with nothing but lessons. She met Jane and Mercy before leaving. She knelt. I am sorry for everything my mother did. As long as I am alive, Jane said softly, I hold no grudges. Jane and Amma's friendship became unbreakable. Amma had stayed. Amma had fought. Amma had carried her when she couldn't walk. Jane never forgot that. Mercy never forgot that. And the village never forgot that lesson. That not every smiling face wishes you well.
That not every plate of food is harmless.